Alrighty, y'all. So I am doing a little scuffed video here, unfortunately. It's not really as bad because I figured out how I can get it to be proper. But I have traveled, if you are wondering where I've been, where I haven't recorded anything while the character Mana came out. I did do a summon, didn't get her. I had one multi. I didn't get her, but I did do a summon. Tried her out a bit, and I have somewhat of a conclusion of her, but I don't really remember because I wasn't even in the type advantage stage, as you guys can see here. I just set it up here, right? But Mana is out in the game, and I do think she is good. I think she's a good sub DPS. I don't think she's a broken, overpowered DPS, but I do think for the damage that she's able to do, this is good enough. Like, her damage is good enough, and the support she's able to give and provide for not even just herself, but like obviously the revive and the healing for the team, and then obviously the burst gauge feeling is very good in my opinion, and then the charge speed for specifically Scarlet, but anybody who needs it. I think she's very, very good. Now I'm going to be using her. I don't have freaking Viper as favorite item, and I wanted to kind of try her on the sustain team, which that's what we're going to do as well, but we're going in here with this team. Now the thing about Mana, if you guys don't already know, is that her first skill basically will proc after 3 burst skills, to put it in simple terms, right? So the first time you use her burst skill, she will have all this proc, right? But then when you go into the next person's burst skill, which would be Scarlet, she wouldn't have it. And then when you used her burst skill again, she wouldn't have it. She wouldn't get it until you used her burst skill, and then the burst skill came to an end. Because remember, she re-gets the metal A, the metal alpha, whatever you want to call it. She gets that back when she a full burst ends, but I'll show you guys in game. We're gonna go on scope lock, so everything is 10 10 10. I'm gonna show you guys her damage. I'm gonna show you guys how the character works and all that stuff, but there are multiple teams you can use her with. It's not just the Black Shadow Scarlet team, even though that's what kind of everybody is saying. I feel like there's a lot of teams you can use her on, but that's probably like the best team. So if you guys take a look at her burst generation, isn't really like, it's not as crazy as I thought it would be, just because like she's still an AR at the end of the day. But if you guys take a look now, when we end up using her thing, her burst skill, after the full burst, I want to see what it is after the full burst right here, right? We use her burst skill, sure, it goes off, and then boom. Right now she's at 6.3 million, right? After this, she is still doing what? I guess it's not even on an enemy right now. Her sustained damage is not going on the enemy because whatever enemy it was on before they died, right? But she only went from what? 6 million to 18 million. Again, that's just because the sustained damage, whoever that was on before, they ended up dying. But she did have this effect. It's not here anymore. But oh yeah, it's not here anymore. The alpha, she had that effect during her burst skill. She, even after Scarlet, after the full burst ends for Scarlet, we're not gonna get it back. So you're gonna see Scarlet used her burst skill. What is Scarlet at right now? Scarlet's at 17 million with the charge speed buff or whatever. Very helpful. You guys can see Scarlet's going crazy, like really crazy. After that, we go from 17 million to 136 million. Quite crazy, right? She's quite crazy. But you guys can see, even after the full burst again, we still don't have the alpha from Mana's skill 2, right? So after this burst rotation, which is after Mana uses her burst skill, then we will have it. So boom, we used it. What is the number? 43 million. Again, the enemy it went on ended up dying. Probably better to use that on a boss than mobs, but you guys can see right with doing the burst skill, whatever, we still don't have it. Now the full burst has officially come to an end, and there you go. Now we have it, right? We have the burst gauge filling here. Where is the other part? There should be another part, I guess. Where is it? There should be another part. That's what she gets again. And then when you enter a full burst in this status, then you get it. It's just so unfortunate because I think you would want to have her burst second then. Because it's like, after the first time, if you have her going first, after the first time, when you get this back, you're not going to be in her burst skill while you have that. Like, I think it's better to place her in the position where she's going to have that buff while you're able to use her burst skill specifically, right? So we're going in here right now. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, Scarlet goes very fast, so as you guys can see. Scarlet's like, that's very fast for somebody with the charge time, right? It's very, 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 very fast, right? But now after the full burst, we're about to have it right here, right? Let's take a look and see real quick. I took over like an hour pause, so I don't know where I've been, but okay, 333 million, 77 million. The speed, the quickness of Scarlet when she gets that ability, this right here just makes Scarlet do. You guys don't realize like that's such a damage buffer. Well, some of you guys do, but this line right here, when you enter a full burst, one ally with like this guaranteed every burst rotation, is just such a damage booster for Scarlet. Her being able to shoot that fast is like getting all the buffs that she gets during a full burst, whether she's using her burst skill or not. Being able to go that fast is what's crazy. And I want to see like what happens if I run Mana and Alice. Like how fast is she going? How fast is Scarlet going with that? Right, and that's kind of what I want to try with this composition. You guys can see Mana's damage herself isn't like all that crazy. It's not bad, but it's not like something I'd say is that crazy in my opinion. I mean, if the freaking this ability went onto the main boss, then for sure, but the enemies that's going on are dying anyways, so it's like she's losing a lot of damage by going to characters that are not basically the boss. Right, she's missing out on a lot of damage, but it's fine. Right, and then Scarlet, 575 million or 57 million. Like that speed is just insane. That speed is just insane. 557 million to 684 million. And then now with this, the one boss, Mana herself is actually gonna go crazy. Like if you guys look now, Mana's at what? Come on. Mana is at 171 million. Now that it's going on to the boss and this sustained damage, all that stuff is happening to just the boss. After you guys are gonna see more damage. Yeah, that jumped up. I don't know if it was 170 or 117, but either way that like was pretty good. Right, but yeah, Scarlet's going crazy. Mana goes crazy. The only thing I don't like about Mana is that this skill, the skill 2, is it's like not every burst rotation, which is just so unfortunate, and it's like the only way I think you can get that off without it being like the only way you can get it off with her using her burst skill is like if she goes second. That's how I see it. Let me put Alice on the team. I just want to try that out, and then we could fight a boss, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But I do want to see what this is looking like right here, and then after that we can like kind of give it a little break or something, and then come with more of a verdict. But how fast is Scarlet going with now Alice on the team? Because if you guys don't already know, the reason why everybody was so excited about Mana is because she kind of replaces Alice for what Alice is doing for Scarlet. Alice before was making Scarlet go super fast, right? Charge speed, charge damage increase, but it was mainly the charge speed thing, right? That's what Alice is doing to make Scarlet go way faster. So now on top of this, from Mana, look how fast she's gonna go. It's kind of the same thing. Her damage is definitely a lot more though. And if you guys take a look here, obviously we have Mana's like all this buffs, attack damage, all this is gonna be here. But when we use her burst skill, it's gonna be gone. After this, it should be gone if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. So now she just loses it because she loses it after the end of a full burst. So it's like, you know, it's pretty. And then it's so unfortunate because we use her burst skill and she doesn't have it, right? But after this burst rotation, actually, she should get it back. But then she loses it at the end of a full burst. So it's like damn near impossible, I feel like, after the first burst rotation, and if you're using her burst skill first, for her to kind of get that back. No, she has it now. So what we have to do is we have to enter a full burst. So after a full burst, boom, now we have it, right? Okay, we're in a full burst because we were in our O status, right? We were in our alpha status. Now we get it back, and this only comes back when you're in the status of the thing, but you lose it. So it's so weird because you get it back after a full burst ends. If she used her burst skill before. So when you use her burst skill, you get it back after the full burst ends for when you used her burst skill, but then she loses it after the full burst right after. Like they're never getting that second skill off with her first skill, which is just so, unless you put her in the first slot, the very first time of the battle, then sure. Otherwise, it's not working out. Her damage, as you guys can see, is not even that bad either. Right? I put Alice on the team, didn't really go nowhere. I don't feel like it made that much of a difference. I feel like it actually got worse. It was way faster before without Alice, but you guys can see that skill 2, it's literally impossible to have that skill 2 on after the first burst rotation, and you know, if Mana herself is obviously the first burst character. Other than that, it's not really the best, but you guys let me know what you think. I think Mana is great though. I think Mana is great for Scarlet. I'm gonna try and crack in when I can get access to that. I'm gonna try her with Sakura and Rosanna and Viper favorite item, and we're gonna see how that goes because she is a sustained character as well. But for now, it's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.